Hi, we're live and we're on the right time. I just set that up last night and I kind of screwed it. So, what can I say? Welcome
Oh, okay.
to us being in charge of technology.
Hopefully, people will start popping in.
They'll come in. Mimi Nee's already here. Mimi's a firm believer. She knows.
If you build it, they will come.
hmm Well, the person who asked said, "Are you 3 hours later today?" So,
But yeah, you did say
you
you
figured
actually
it
accidentally put one. But anyway,
I did accidentally. See, everybody's going to say, put Scott in charge again. Put Scott in charge again.
yeah, YouTube or no, StreamYard. I didn't want to pay for StreamYard anymore.
hmm
So what do you want to have Sean talk about?
Yeah, Sean's here because we had special elections and last night yesterday in Texas on a cold day. The cold now we're going back up into the 50s during the day again, but yesterday it was still cold all day.
It's technically 32 right now. We are freezing.
I
So
know, but there's rays of hope through the window. Um, so just to kind of let y'all know what's going on down here. Um, YouTube's screwing with us again. YouTube, because I have guests on my show, they're going to say their information's copyrighted, so I can't get any money. I got a notice from them yesterday, and I have placed a complaint with them saying this is BS. Except I put it in nice businessy language, and this is crap. But anyway, so if you really want to support my station, below my name it says "Buy me a cup of coffee," and it's Crystal direct, and it just sort of stops 3, and that works because 2 people did that last week, and I got that money, and I got the $100 donation we got during in chat. And I'm not out here for the money, but I'm just saying what pittance we were getting off of YouTube, they are now even keeping that. So as fast as I can figure a way around them, although because I joined a creator group, which helps them, we tell them what it's like to work with them. I have a person I can write, so I'll let you know the further adventures. But I want everybody to know you're all welcome here, and we'll still be doing it. And we'll be doing it in this format, but we'll also be probably running it live on Substack. So you can go over and learn about that wonderful world. True, yes. And because, Scott, my forever sidekick from Wisconsin, who I can never complain about the weather to because it's always worse where he is.
Sometimes it's equal.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's really sad when he said, "Oh, that's the temperature we have up here." And I went, "That's not fair. That's why I don't live in Wisconsin. I could have lived in Wisconsin. I could have moved right around the corner and gone up one state, and I'd have been fine." And below me is Sean Briscoe, founder of CLSB Politics. And Sean's here to discuss special elections because we're in the middle of a lot of them. And Ohio's at 8 degrees. You have my sympathies. That's why I don't live in Ohio. Anyway, Sean's here to discuss special elections, and he's not talking little single digit numbers. He's talking big numbers. So you want to go, Sean, and talk
sure.
about?
So yeah, we had a couple of elections last night. We had for the so we did. There are almost 1 million Americans who had no representation in Congress for the last 333 days because Governor Abbott decided that he wanted to help his buddy Trump with his margin in the House and effectively not let Americans have representation in our federal government. And they got away with it for 333 days until last night when our candidate won. finally, after, okay, so what's interesting about the Congressional District 18, which is what I call a zombie district, no longer exists because of the gerrymandering that happened in Texas so that Trump could, get 5 more seats in the House. That district will cease to exist on January 20th. And in fact, all these candidates, Amanda Edwards, Christian Menefee is the one who won with 68% versus Amanda Edwards, who got 31%. They're all running again. They have a whole nother district they're running for, and their primary is literally in like 30 days. Early voting will be in 2 weeks. They just had an election, and now they're having another one. There's a couple of things this does. For one thing, it confuses the hell out of the voters, which is always what the GOP wants to do. And it makes Democrats spend twice as much money, which is always what the Republicans want us to do. So there's a lot of strategy involved in this congressional race. But mad props to Christian Menefee. Had an incredible, most of his lead came from his early voting. He had 5,000 more early voting votes than Amanda Edwards did. So right out of the gate, it was 66-33, and it's now 68-31. So it effectively stayed the same throughout the rest of the voting. So he created a lead and then just built on it, maintaining that same gap as they continued through the vote count. That's how you do it. That's how you win.
Can you talk about the mail-in votes, though?
Yeah, the mail-in votes was really interesting. They were technically, Amanda Edwards got one more mail-in vote than Christian Menefee. It was really weird. You don't see it it was like 1,065 to 1,064. It was a very strange math when it comes to the mailing. But I mean, there's nothing conspiratorial about it. It's just sometimes it lines up that way, and which is really interesting. That means that this is what I think happened, and I don't know because I have to look at their finance reports, and they won't be available for a couple weeks, and then no one will care anyway. But what I think happened, based on just the numbers, they both knew exactly who was going to vote mail, and they both reached out to that group, I would say, evenly. Both campaigns almost had the same amount of money. Christian Menefee had more money than Amanda Edwards, but not by a huge amount, maybe 10, 15%. Then you come to early voting. And what Christian Menefee had that I think Amanda Edwards didn't have was a field program designed around GOTV for early voting. If you can build that, if you've got a system out and that's happening, that's how you win. Because it gives you a huge lead. It locks you into votes. More importantly, the votes that vote, you know who votes in early voting within 24 hours of them voting. You know how they voted, if they voted. So you're able to remove those people from your outreach program, which saves you money and time and makes for a more efficient campaign. It's extra work on the data director end, which is my job, but it's absolutely worth it because you can. And so instead of going after a vote that's already voted, you're now going after votes who haven't voted yet. And also that makes your universe go down. And that also saves your money and allows you to focus on where those votes need to come from. And I think that's what happened. And then after the early voting numbers came in, that seemed pretty straight up to me that's exactly what played out. And so believe in field, guys. Field works. Knocking on door works. So.
The first city council race I ran, we had a list we would run every day, the list of people who'd voted, and we'd take them off, and then we just call on the list of people who haven't voted. So people always say, I'm going to go vote tomorrow. And then you call them the next day and see, we see you didn't vote. Is there a problem? Can we help you get to the polls? By the third time you call them, they say, I'll vote. Just don't call me anymore. And we called them till they voted.
Yeah, in 08 in Obama's election, we knocked on so many doors in certain parts of Dallas that people put signs on their doors saying, I promise I'm voting for Obama. Please stop knocking on my door. And that's when I knew we had fully saturated that precinct.
Right.
Yeah.
in Iowa during the primaries, it was worse. They would actually put water on their steps so you couldn't get to their door, because they not only had Obama and Hillary, but they had 9 or 10 Dems running. And those people were so sick of hearing from one woman. I was calling from my cell phone, and so my area code was not an Iowa area code. And she goes, "Oh, hello." And I said, "Hi, I'm calling from the Obama campaign." She said, "God damn it, I thought it was going to be a safe call."
No, in that election there were no safe calls. So just moving on, that was the congressional district. So the big one everyone's talking about, I've seen probably 10 or 15 reels on it, and I put out a show on it early this morning. Was the final vote in State Senate District 9, which is in Tarrant County. For those of you that don't know the county names, that's Fort Worth. It's right next door to Dallas. Now, Fort Worth is the reddest voting. So Tarrant County is the reddest voting urban county in Texas. And a lot of people have been talking about, flipping that county blue. Oh, geez, decades.
2004.
Right. And so it's been talked about for a very long time. Well, this special election, and I cannot even tell you how special elections are. Normally, the margin in that race is the Republican wins by like 20 points. So it's like a 60% Republican, 40% Democrat, right? That's usually what you see in that race. What we saw was a 57% Democrat, 42% Republican. Literally just flipped. I mean, like, it's when you say flip, that means it could be like 51-48. We won by 3 points. No, this is literally a flip. Like, they reverse the numbers, which is not something you see very often. It is unique. Wouldn't spread. And Taylor Remmett is the name of the candidate who won. Nice guy. I watched a bunch of his videos this morning. Yeah, good, solid candidate. Kind of perfect for Tarrant County, to be honest. A safe, he's kind of, white guy. Just a safe Democratic vote for those counties that are easing their way into the blue. I'd say he's a solid candidate midwife of some sort, So, but he also ran a solid campaign, kept it real, kept it on the ground. Now these Senate seats are huge. They're not congressional size, but they're pretty big. You can fit multiple state house seats in them. So they're not a small piece of
territory, and they're important seats. What they run, every state's set up differently, but what our Senate runs is very important in this state.
So the big takeaway is this used to be the Republicans would win this seat by 40 points. A Democrat just won it by 34. I mean, that's the big take, that there was a 34-point swing in the direction of the Democrats in this seat. And if you don't think this is going to live rent-free in the brain of every Republican political operative in Texas, you are kidding yourself. This is their next. This is the reason they gerrymandered the entire state.
When Sean and I were running our company, Ruddle Consulting, I got a phone call because I used to work with some Democrats that were in Tarrant County. And they called me up and they said, "Nancy, we think something's wrong." And I said, "What?" And they said, "The chairman of our party is going to give up our PAC status." And yeah, Sean's rolling his eyes because Sean and I immediately ran down to the lawyers that did all the lawyering about politics in Dallas at the time, or the whole area at the time. We went down and we talked to Jennifer, and we said, "Jennifer, they can't do this because if you're not the PAC, then you can't run candidates." So what he was effectively saying was, "I'm going to give up our PAC and we won't there won't be a Democratic Party in Tarrant County. And so all the lawyers, I've never seen lawyers run so fast. They're not the fastest group of people, but man, they scrambled on this one because they only had 48 hours to stop this guy from having this happen. And someone out of his office talked to someone who talked to someone, which is how we got the information. And they stopped him from disenfranchising the Democratic Party from Tarrant County. That was the year that the alternate press, I guess all parts of the country must have it, but in Dallas, it's called the Dallas Observer. I don't know what it's called over in Tarrant County, but it's always a newspaper that comes out weekly, and it tells all of the tales that the establishment didn't want told. And they ran a whole, it was almost the whole paper, and it was the biggest gift to the Republican Party in Tarrant County is the Democratic chair. And that's sad. So that's what we've been, and that was 2009.
Yeah. And if you're curious about political action committees and all the different types and stuff, I did a show on it, not but about a week and a half ago, because I started getting a lot of questions about it. Oh yeah, the FBI is raiding Georgia. Okay, guys, so I want to talk a little bit about voter reg and the data that everyone's super upset that the feds are going after. I can buy the voter reg for any county in the state. I know data service companies that I can buy whole states from. So just because you have a voter reg doesn't really mean much unless you're running campaigns and doing things like that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yes, can they do damage? I mean, I guess they could file lawsuits itemized by specific voters. Maybe that's what they're going to try and do. Good luck. I cannot stress to you how little technology is actually being implemented by our county elections offices. When I get a voter reg straight from the county, it's in what's called a DBF file, which is basically a file that's easily transmitted, doesn't take up much space because it's super compressed. You have to pull it into one piece of software, drop it into another piece of software, and then format it in order just to read it. So when they're talking about going in and raiding the offices, I honestly think that's just clickbait for GOP red stuff, and it's there to also piss off the blue voters, because they could have just sent a letter and gotten the voter reg. It's not like they're taking the voter reg from the county. The county is giving them a copy of the voter reg, or they're getting a copy of the voter reg. Great. In about 2 months, that voter reg is going to be an antique because more people will have registered to vote. So you won't have any of those guys.
And as far as the count goes, if you don't think they haven't Xeroxed every single voter sheet they could and have that in another file, you're out of your mind. I mean,
they have digital PDFs of everything.
And also they can raid that county, but that county reported it to the state. I mean, if you've dealt with this crap the way Sean and I have, and you know how it works, you understand this is something to scare you. It's another scare tactic. Don't let it happen. Have the aspiration. Sean and I always have that it's going to be better. And what we want to get it out of is DBF files to begin with. That would be helpful.
Right. Also, what they're going to end up doing is doing the math, and they'll know exactly how much they're going to lose by. That's what they'll know with the voter reg. They'll know exactly how much we're going to eat their lunch in November of 26, 100%. So, because I also will know that. And so will hundreds and hundreds of other political consultants that operate at the level I do. We know how to look at that data, and they can look at that data all they want. They can't go in and manipulate the data by a copy of data that they've got sitting on a hard drive in wherever. It's not like they got They stole the computer that has the data in it. So the voter reg is still in wherever in Georgia they decided they wanted to raid. That data is still there. It's not going anywhere. They got a copy of it, which I swear to God, if they just sent a letter and probably $30, they could have gotten it. Now I have the entire voter reg for Collin County, which is one of the fastest growing counties in the state. $27 and an email. You're welcome. I mean, it's not. That's not a. It is a thing, and it's stupid that they're doing that. But they're really just doing that just to try and get your goat and mess with you.
Like Wendy says, try to not get you to go out and vote. Go vote. Every time you vote, you're giving the slimy bastards a stick in the throat.
Yeah, exactly. They want the drama. Debbie's right. They want the drama. That, in fact, they want distraction. They want you looking everywhere but the ballot box. They want you looking everywhere. They wanted you looking at pizzerias, and Hillary Clinton running crazy stuff. They wanted you looking at immigrants eating pets. They want you looking at everything but the vote, everything but the budget, and everything but the laws that they're passing. That's what they want you to look at. And by the way, second government shutdown starts tomorrow, and we don't know when it's going to end because the House just said they're not going to vote for it. So hey, here we are. They don't want you to look at that either, by the way, but it's happening. And yes, the Epstein stuff is terrible. God, I haven't even really looked at not even a fraction of what stuff that's been put out, and it is god awful. So, and it's going to take a month for that to be digested in any real way. There'll be websites devoted to just listservs on how to navigate 300 million documents, which, by the way, is only half the documents. There's 6 million documents. They only posted 3 million of them. So we're only halfway. And we can assume this is not the bad stuff. So the bad stuff's going to be, it's going to be really, really bad. And are they scared? Absolutely. If I was a Republican congressman and I just saw a 37-point flip in a incredibly gerrymandered, safe state Senate seat in what they would consider red Texas, there are states way more red than Texas, by the way. Texas is an R+3. North Dakota is an R+20. I mean, we're not even close to the reddest state.
We just have more people.
We just have a ton more people. Yeah. I mean, more Democrats voted for Joe Biden in Texas than voted for Joe Biden in New York. That's how weird this math works. So, there's more Biden supporters in Texas than in New York State.
Okay.
Also, pretty much every other state but California and Florida. So there you go.
Don't complain. Vote.
That's right.
Yay, Boma.
Boma's right. Don't complain.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Sean, thank you for coming and filling us in.
No problem.
On all the best stuff.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay. Bye, dear. I'm going to make Scott and I big.
Yeah, I always liked Obama's speeches. He said, "Don't boo, vote."
Mm-hmm.
Same. Yeah, there was another question, and Sean was talking behind the scenes before we got on, that someone asked about, how many people showed up for that special election. And he was saying it was down Republican and Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So
the one in Fort Worth, yeah.
Yeah.
Neither side was taking it all that seriously.
But it was bad weather too, like you said. They had to shut down early voting with the ice and stuff. So,
well, it's a full moon day, guys. And the last full moon we had, we were invading Venezuela. So think about how much water's passed under the bridge since then.
Does that mean Iran's coming?
Yeah, well, we have a question about that in here. So,
Yep, go look at Sean's channel if you haven't.
mhm,
CLSB Politics.
it's on YouTube.
You pretty much post daily.
Right now he is. And yeah, it's, and the thing is, they can take those records and say, we have the original records, but they all got reported on and they've all been copied. And I mean, so then it just becomes a paper war. And it really is just a thing they did to distract everybody from everything. So,
Yeah, Todd Blanche is probably going to go see Maduro. We'll let you free if you tell him to say you rigged our election in Georgia.
okay, here's Iran. Okay, time for the. We don't pull out cards when Sean's on the screen because he makes his living in like a real world of politics, and there's some people that might use that against him. So we're pulling the cards out now.
Thank you, Deb, for posting Sean's YouTube. Okay, Iran. Will Taco Sparker War.
You know, it's, you don't start a war in the Mideast and not think it's going to become a Mideastern war. It's like no European nation can think it's going to win a war in Central Asia. I think we have enough history of that we know this is true.
Well, first card was walking away.
Yep, that's what I got.
Yeah, I get heavy burdens of starting something, walking away. The things that they did in the past there, and the failure of the last strike, reevaluating and saying no. There's a lot of internal frustrations I'm seeing within the Pentagon and Keg's breath and everything. I think there's pushback. I'm getting a page of swords here with any operations. So I think there's internal pushback from
The military.
So in the end, I get 10 of swords, ending of a situation, 6 of pentacles. Could be some money issues there. It feels like, even though 6 of pentacles isn't the issues, but it's kind of like, well, you know, the house gives the money or got the balance and that money's got to go out for the operation. It doesn't, feels like it's bad. 4 of swords is the sickness, the waiting, thinking things. And then the 10 of wands, heavy burdens. I don't think these are saying, no, there's no operation going to happen.
Yeah, I got the 9 of wands, which is, I got a new camera so you can see my cards. The 9 of wands, and the thing about him is he's building a defense, but we don't have the strength to keep it going. It's also the cost, the planning and the cost and the money and the reality. So what I see is a lot of people, it's just to create anxiety and build up pressure. But in the end, we do what's right. We use our power. Our power gets used properly. So will Orange taco out of it? I don't think Orange is going to taco out of it because he wants to. I think he's going to taco out of it because he has no choice. He doesn't have any support.
One, Iran's ready.
Yeah.
And they're just waiting for the boats to show up.
Why would we want to bomb them? People are speaking out against him. Anyway, Are there moles in the FBI that are releasing damaging documents regarding the felon? I don't know if you guys know what punishment there is for people that are in the services like that if they break seals and let people have stuff. But
yeah, that's leaking confidential or classifieds.
because they view it as being against their country. But let's go see. I think they'll let go real information. Oh, I may be wrong. I'm very wrong. According to the cards, I'm very wrong. It's tower time. Changes are happening, and there are agents that are actively working on stuff to build up against him, and they're about to come forward. They're about to charge out, and they understand the cost, but it's going to be very valuable what they're going to let us know, and they are risking staying in their safe little haven. So I get, yeah.
Cards are strange here to me. It feels like they have the information. I think some may have spoken to different lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
What's my rights? What? So it's like not releasing. It's kind of like logging of what's going on for later, because I get like a Queen of Swords along with the FBI card and my Empress card. So this is security, safety, family. Here's like talking to a lawyer. So then I get all this information, being strategic, being truth to power of your job and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's more of waiting for the right time, when they have protection with Democrat leadership. Here's the prosperity, and then you can speak out. I think it's risking career and stuff if they would.
That's what my Eight of Coin, that's what my Nine of Pentacles was about. They'd be tossed on their butt. But at the bottom of my deck was Trump upside down. So that's their goal. Okay. Is this a sign Democrats are going to keep winning? These kinds of their morale building numbers, and the fact that the country jumped all over because there's been some really stunning number turns, but the fact they picked this one up so quickly. And I happen to know that particular district because, like I said, I used to work with Democrats in Tarrant County, and they virtually had to run around their own party to get their story heard. So yes, it's very important. And it's a real sea change. It's not just a kind of sea change. Okay. Tom Homan has taken over ICE in Minnesota. Is there a feeling that the pressure from Americans to back off and clean up the messes there? I think from Americans there are, and from Trump's own mouth. I read sorry, my voice is going again. I read an article yesterday that said, he said, unless they were attacking federal facilities, they were supposed to leave demonstrators alone. But he was implying they were going to be pulling out. But as we all know, Trump says one thing 1 hour and another thing the next, which is really good for all our nervous systems, right? What do you think, Scott?
The White House has problems here. Ooh. Heading for dark times. Heavy worries about legal being sued.
Mm-hmm.
So, being sued, worried about dark times within the government operation, trying to take a different path because they know they're losing. Democrats have momentum. They know they're losing here. Everything here is destruction. Page of Swords feels like the ice raids. And then they got, oh crap. So they're just trying to change course.
Well, that bling you heard on my phone was reporter watching them watch the 5-year-old and his father be released in South Texas.
I did see that this morning.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what I got is you got temperance, which means someone says we have to strike a balance. They don't want to do it in a way that, like, we all pull out. They're not going to do that. So they're trying to avoid the complete tower change. But this card means complete transition. So they're going through a complete transition. They're going to put the hand out to be friendly to these places because they realize they're losing like crazy. And it's costly to them. And they're planning their next slimy strategic move, but it's costly to them. See? Oh, everybody's favorite slimy person. Ghislaine Maxwell's pushing hard to get out of prison, claiming that the DOJ made a secret settlement with co-conspirators. Is there a threat, Trump? Let's see if he's going to try to commute her sentence.
Yeah, this came out. This came out last month with her, where the whatever petition she put in the court, and she mentioned 25, the 4 women that got immunity in 2008, and then 25 other men that paid off. Didn't. So it sure feels like a tactic.
I got it's his goal to get her out of jail.
Oof. Ouch.
But he doesn't have the heart or the ability to do it. There's no emotional support for it. He knows how bad it would be for him. The Wheel of Fortune's reversed. So he's always sending out little teasers and messages to make her think it's coming. But she is not going to get her way.
So it feels like he may have had one drafted.
Because
I get the 3 of coins here along with a victory. This is in the past position. And then the current energy is they're kind of aligned. So I got them separated in the same energy. Here's him, Ace of Wands, and then here's her coming together. They're in the same energy fold with the teamwork, the power. So I think that has to do with the release of the documents. They're enmeshed together here with the documents coming out. But in the end, I get a no. 5 of coins, unsure what decision passed, and then the heavy burden. Stressed. So I don't see a pardon coming. But it looked like that was the plan originally.
Oh, I think it was. They were going to play around and stall around and play games. Okay, show. Are there pugs? The pugs are scared. Stop bullying. Yes, that's true. They are scared.
Well, that's why some are saying bye-bye. Of course, there's Democrats saying they had enough to. But yes, when you have fear of losing a plus 15 district, that's a good thing.
They just want to keep people that are pro-democracy in the edge so they don't get affected. The U.S. backed many dictators in other countries. This is karma. We're feeling it come over us. And that's true. Somebody loves Sean. I'll let him know. Go over and join his channel. Give him another subscriber. That helps.
Sean is very knowledgeable because he works on the ground. He looks at the numbers, and
Sean always calms me down. And Carrie, that's why he doesn't do clickbait titles, and he doesn't try to get people hysterical. He just say, look, this is the numbers, and this is where we can move, and this is where we can't move. And there are Dems that don't like him because he won't completely swallow their line.
he's very analytical.
Right, he is.
All about the numbers.
He did not get that from me. Oh, if those of you don't know, he is my son. Will the Dems keep winning? I don't see any reason why they won't.
Yeah, it feels huge. The current energy, I believe the Senate's in play too. We can take Alaska. We can keep
God,
Georgia.
we got Alaska swing our way, guys.
North Carolina.
Mhm.
You know, Iowa.
Well, look what happened in Wyoming in their own state legislature, the Nasty Nine. If you've ever seen these guys, they're really funny, and they look like 9 Wyoming ranchers, you know, with the long white beards and stuff. They really look like something out of another century. And when it came down to it, and they got presented with Trump's thing of not increasing insurance and not doing any of that, they all went over and voted with the Democrats, and then the Republican Party threw them out. So one of the guys said, I guess we're Democrats now. I mean, you know.
I didn't hear about that. That's good.
If you look them up, you can find them. If you just put on YouTube Nasty Nine, they're absolutely hysterical. They're all my age and a little older, and they're just like, no, you know, they fought in Vietnam and all this stuff, and they're like, no, this isn't what our country's supposed to be about.
Excellent. I gotta find that.
Yeah, Nasty Nine. Is Jeff Bezos hiding? He gave $75 million for Melania's movie. Oh, by the way, somebody wrote on my chat on Thursday, I thought you'd enjoy this, Nancy. Melania's movie was advertised as the advertisement before I could get in to see your show. YouTube's advertising that piece of trash. Okay.
Well, Snopes checked it out, and they confirmed there was an actual Craigslist asking to pay people $50 to go watch your movie.
Oh God, I don't think I could even do that. Not even $50.
But Bezos, he's a slime ball.
Yeah, and it says he's not turning up, and he's avoiding reporters. They're saying Bezos, who's couldn't wait to get his fat little face in front of cameras. And I can talk. I have a fat little face, but his is fatter. And if that's a race we're having now,
Amazon is laying off 16,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he gives $75 million for this. And Amazon announced they're going to put so many billions into AI.
Yeah, because they want to get rid of people,
but they're going to get rid of people. Just insane.
So Bezos is not a good person. We don't even to put down coals. Okay, Velma says she's a poll worker, and I take it that's POLL. The other kind of poll worker, I don't think you are. In Red York, Pennsylvania, right? I show up and I don't let them stop me. And that's why I used to work the polls for about 20 years. That was my little side hustle because they pay you well when you run the polls here in Dallas.
York, I have a friend that was born there and met in the service. He now lives in Delaware, I think, after the service and getting married. But he was born in York, Pennsylvania.
And we can't vote unless workers vote at the polls. And during COVID, I was so excited to see the young people show up and run the polls, because before then it was like, how close were you to the grave? You know, I mean, really, the people who ran, and I was one of them, you know. And it was really good to see a lot of young people show up, and they've continued to show up and work the polls. So You can look in your area if you're retired, semi-retired, or looking for some hobby. Check into how they do poll workers. That's another way you can help.
But yeah, the Republicans been doing this crap for 10 years, trying to intimidate, elections. You can expect it again. Rushing bomb and threats, people intimidating people to vote, trying to get rid of, Democrats on the polls. It's going to continue until they get destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see. Look around.
Yeah.
Is it Iran that has the bounty on Dumbo?
Yes.
Okay.
They still got the $80 million bounty on them.
Yeah, it's called a fatwa.
And a couple others. Who was it?
Iraq?
No, other people. Bolton and Pompeo also had bounties on their head.
Oh, okay.
All from that Soleimani strike.
Okay.
Good job, Earth Mama. She said she worked the polls for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. And do it as long as it's safe for you and you feel comfortable doing it,
Yeah, that's what I heard, Earth Mama. $80 million bounty on his head.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like 6 years.
Okay. What are we going to say about Don Lemon?
It's nonsense.
Yeah, it's just that's another thing to say. They did it the same day as they let half of the Epstein records out. So what should you pay attention to, Don Lemon or the Epstein records?
He was, yeah. Don was released, no bond or anything. It's a First Amendment right. He didn't do anything. It'll be thrown out. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. He's got a great lawyer. I can't remember his name right now, but
oh yeah, this is some you can do what we need to do to get our point across, and do it safe from your home. I do the 5 calls, except I only have to make 3 because I only have 2 senators whose phone mail's always full. And but I report that I made the call, and I report that the mailbox was full and the time I made the call. But I have a Democrat for my congressperson, so I'm on it.
Laura found it. Abby Lowell is Don Lemon's.
Yes, he is a good lawyer. So if you don't know what that is, it's a app you can get on your phone. It's called 5 Calls. It's really good. They kind of bring up what are the issues today, and tomorrow undoubtedly it will be that the government's shut down. So there's nobody to answer the phone calls. But call anyway. And I can tell you where 5 Calls came from. And I think I talked about this before. When we were pushing for the ACA, for Obama's health initiatives, the Republicans would get out and they talk to the press. They go, well, my constituents aren't calling me about that. We're not getting any phone calls about that. So this group of people came up with a way to give people a way to track their calls so that they could say, yeah, I called at this time and I called this number and stuff. And they would show up at the Republicans' press conference and say, sir, here's the computer run out of all the people who've called you. And so they quit saying that line. Well, I'm not hearing it from my people. And it shut that line down. And you may not think that's important, but it really is. It really does help.
No, Peekaboo. I'm sorry.
What happened to Peekaboo?
All her reps are repubs.
Call them anyway. Because these guys keep the records. And when Republicans say we don't hear anything, they go, yes, you do. And there are more of us than them. So we have power. We need to use it. And people need to vote. When someone says, oh, I don't want to make a mistake, the only mistake you make is not voting. And someone sent something too early. Okay. Okay, will Prince Andrew tell all about Epstein that he knows?
No.
He already gave up his palaces and his titles. Are you kidding?
No, he's deep fear. He never wants to say anything. He's not going to, be a stand-up guy now and say, I screwed up. Throw the book at me. This is what happened.
I hate to tell you, but if you've read British history, he's more in line with the rulers they've had that were male than, when we think about Queen Victoria, who went into deep mourning because her husband died and all that stuff. All the kings before that, when they died, when King George, the one that lost the U.S., when he died, his mistress was in the room with him, not his wife. I mean, they think that's how you're supposed to live your life, guys. So he didn't jump too far from the ship, but he's an awful person. You should have heard my husband, who's British, talk about that man. He really. Oh, someone's watching us from Minneapolis, as usual. Trump is lying. Yep. I take it your name is Noel Douglas, because I first read that as Noodle something, and I went, that's right. That's not good. Indigo, I've seen several really good posts about how, first, don't open the door just because they're pounding on it. And the second is it has to be a judge-signed warrant in every state. That's not, they just said, they actually had the guts to say only in some states is that how it works. No, it's kind of everywhere. And their little judges saying,
I seen a video of ice broke some bakery's window to get in.
I know it won't stop them, but if you voluntarily let them in, then they can just come in and do what they want. But okay. One little child got out today, and they're working on it. They had a riot at that prison in South Texas. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. There was a lawyer who was there meeting with this family that just got out, the Dilly family that just got out. And while he was there, all of a sudden they said, you all have to leave. And so he got to a point where he could see through, and you could see the people rioting inside the facility against the guards. So.
Annie's gift. Do you think they'll change the numbers in order to invalidate Biden's win?
No.
Even if they would say 45 actually won Georgia, he still wouldn't win the election.
No, and there's way too many ways to prove the numbers are showing up that they're wrong, and it's just another long legal argument that everybody's very bored with.
There was 3 recounts. It's all nonsense.
Oh, has Dumbo really thought about writing an executive order to remove people's guns? Oh, please.
No, they're Republican. They won't do that.
They won't do that.
He's just going to continue on his own, demented brain rants of saying about this, that, and everything. But an executive order policy, no. Because the other side's pissed off now, too, about his comments.
Mm-hmm. If I worked for ICE, I'd drink on the job. You think so?
Yeah, I seen one guy got busted for a DUI.
Oh, really? Okay.
Working while drinking.
We can read on the releasing the children. I don't.
Will there be a successful campaign to release the other 32? This is.
Okay, let's read on.
What they're doing. It's part of they acquired like 80 warehouses around this country to make into detention camps, basically.
Yeah, more and more cities and states are writing laws to block them from doing that. Well, I like this answer, Scott. I'm glad I asked it. Oh my God. Yes, things are going to happen in mysterious ways. This, I think, is judges are going to finally say, no, these have to go. And this, like I had before, there's a whole bunch of things that are going to happen very quickly. They're going to shock us. And people are going to go ahead and decide that they'll hold the adults, but they won't hold the kids. And then you see the children going back to family places, not being in prisons. So there will be a successful campaign. So if you're involved with that, keep working.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to happen quick with the tower.
Yeah.
Either backlash or policy or what's found out here, they're going to have to give in. Paid to cups as offers to remove. It may have something to do with funding or something, because here's my children, 6 a cup, and what's been happening in custody and illnesses and deaths. More and more whistleblowers are speaking and hearing without the news of what's happening to children, and then eventually get prosperity from the illnesses. So with that power, it means it's going to be a quick change or something. Try to change the narrative or whatever. It's like, oh, we're not hurting these kids. And
will there be an incident when the Walking for Peace monks reach DC?
has anyone seen anything bad? I
don't feel anything bad. These guys have had a big glow of, I mean, they got out of the Carolinas before all hell broke loose with the weather.
It feels spiritual, safe, good.
I'm gonna lay cards though, because I'm getting so many 5 yeses, Scott. I want to keep going.
Keep the momentum.
Yeah. And today's full moon day. Full moon is here at noon. Noon, I think, is when it is in central part of the country.
I wonder if someone may have gotten sick with the bad weather or something.
Yeah.
Because I get the illness card, and maybe some, a couple of them or whatever may have had to go get hospitalized or something, but I get sickness. But as far as any incidents, the ending is lovely. No.
Yeah.
Chariots, the movement, Ace of Swords, and Ace of Cups. Looks good as far as incidences, but in the past, I guess the Sun, Ace of Wands, it's all good.
Okay.
But then, like I said, for some reason I get the illness card.
Yeah. Well, they're about halfway through this thing. They started talking about, and who picked this time of year to walk across the U.S.? And they realized that they did it because it wasn't a balanced time. And they did it because they had a strong commitment. And this is sort of their last big push out of their thing. And I don't like Trump. But at the end, it all ends up peaceful and wonderful. So I don't think there's going to be any incidents.
Oh, wow. Divergent Moon said another monk has been leading the last couple of days because the leader had needed medical care and had to rest. Oh,
okay.
It came out in the card.
We're taking care of them. Oh, this is somebody I think talking about if the Republicans get defeated, what's the worst that could happen? They might have to get real jobs, or they might become lobbyists. Well, if they've been doing it right if they came in kind of with Trump the first time, they've been doing it right, they'll never need to work another job. They can coupon clip forever. What do you think,
No, The question was about Republicans losing?
Yeah, I think it's about Republicans.
Oh,
Who else would? They're not going to suggest Democrats
Yeah,
get
you're-
real jobs.
I just get the feeling that on the Republican side, it may dry up a little bit.
Hmm.
Lobbying and whatnot.
Well, the Democrats, if they're smart, they'll take care of lobbyists.
Most of them are plenty old enough. They don't need to work. They could just retire and hang
And
out.
then they'll get their Social Security. And let's see. A lot of you are saying you love Sean. I'll let him know. I don't know about this. I love seeing Hagerman run out of a town hall after being confronted about ice killings and being booed. Who's Hagerman?
She's the one that beat Liz Cheney for her House seat.
Oh, good. I'm glad they finally seen the light. Okay.
Yeah, she had a town hall and she got booed badly.
Aw.
She had to run. She had to run.
And will Trump's arch be built for this summer? No.
No.
If they started now, they couldn't finish it. I mean, just because what it takes to put things together.
No. That would be it. Well over a year and a half to make. I don't see this happening.
Yeah, the ballroom's sitting there having nothing happen to it because it got stopped by the National Trust. Okay. Somebody's currently boycotting Amazon. Every person do what you think is what you feel you ought to do. We have alternatives to Amazon in Dallas. They're called Instacart, and they will buy from almost all the stores. And they have, it's really easy to do. You can work your way around Amazon if you don't want to deal with them.
Yeah. eBay. If you want buying, it's similar, but
okay. Today is full moon. You are right. It is a life-altering time. The question is, will we really feel all the changes by the end of the month? Because that's what a lot of astrologers are saying. We'll see a lot of changes by the end of the month. Do you want to read on, will we see a lot of changes by the end of the month?
Sure. Grab some good cards one.
I'm going to grab my bunny cards. My bunny cards.
Okay. Life-altering time in February. What do we need about?
Yeah, I was listening to, well, it's the first. So all of the astrologers have their predictions for the following month. And I'm really tired of them saying, a lot of people told you everything would change, but it hasn't completely changed yet. For one, nothing's going to completely change. I mean, it's nothing, it all takes time, but I get really tired of them saying, the other guy said it, I didn't say it. And if you keep, I don't keep records of what they said, but some of it is kind of funny. And I like astrologers. I like astrology, but and we did have 7 planets in Aquarius, and we're about to have 7 planets in Aries. So 12 planets together, it gets crowded.
I don't think the life-altering is this month.
No.
So I get King of Cups, 8 of Coins, and 2 of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
So the King of Cups is like your fatherly figure, your empathetic leader, your security. 8 of Coins is the work that needs to be done. 2 of Swords, which path is going to be taken. Then I get 3 of Wands, searching for help, Magician, and the Knight of Swords. So it's going to take a collective of good idea, good people to change this chaos that's going on with the Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Outcome of, so February, the sun.
That's what I got.
We're gonna get illuminated.
Hmm.
There's gonna be heavy burdens. A lot of chaos, and then the Eight of Swords. Not getting what we wanted. We're stuck yet. Heavy heart. So I think this is a revelation kind of month.
Hmm.
Bottom of the deck, I get Temperance. More waiting. I think it depends how you want to see life altering.
Hmm.
You want to see, the sun,
Hmm.
revelations of truth and honesty. I think I still think it's, like April before the calm and the better comes.
Right.
So
What I see
I
is,
think it's chaotic yet.
I see we're offered a lot of stuff, and we're not taking. This says we're just not taking the cups that are getting offered to us. In a way, we don't want to move on, because every time we moved on, it's always like, oh, it couldn't get worse. And guess what? It did. But some new messengers are going to come out and speak to us. We're still not going to be listening to the high priestess. But by the end of the month, we're going to beginning to see the sun. And I think that's what they're seeing. We're going to begin to see the sun.
Yeah, what was I getting? Yeah, the end of the month. I was getting like February 23rd is a big day for some reason. I was getting last week, and that confirms with your end of the month.
And then I see us moving on from there. Yes, we are moving on. We're just not moving on at just incredibly life-altering speeds. Okay, here's a story about Alaska. I was living in Alaska when Tony Knowles, Democrat, won the governor race. He put a special outreach to the indigenous population. Smart. I'm excited about what's happening in Alaska. So am I.
Mary, go Mary.
No kidding. Yeah, and this is the best part of what Bezos ever raised, was his wife who's giving it all away, all the stuff she won in her settlement.
Yep. Good for you, Mackenzie.
Somebody has 200 items in her wait for later list on Amazon. Whoa.
Oh, shopping time.
I don't want to be near your porch the day they finally come. I'm finding things, folks. I'm sorry. I'm not as quick as Scott used to be. It's a good protest song. How much do you get for your soul? So every time you sell out your soul because of the evil that's happening around us, what are you buying yourself? And I agree. Some of the super companies, it would not be bad if they were broken up.
Yeah. Hope you're gonna feel better, Minnie G.
Oh, Mimi, what's going on?
Just posted. Said it's comforting to be with us all. Just what I needed is I'm heading to the clinic. I'm not feeling well.
Oh, yeah, you got
good energy too.
Send you healing light. So the government shutdown stuff started yesterday. How long will it last, Scott?
Well, let's check it out, because let's see. Where's my
Maybe we should ask how long till the next one.
But last week we felt it was going to be short.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be over real soon. So.
But the House would have to confirm it on Monday, so that would be short. But there's complications. Let's see. How long is this government shutdown going to last?
Oh, it's not going to last at all long. People want business back to normal. People want to get business back to normal, and they were ready for this to happen, and then it's no. Is it going to last for a long time?
Jesus.
No. And no, the change is not going to last for a long period of time, and all a little fighting with each other in the corners. If this is really truly because Lindsey Graham didn't get to sue the FBI, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that clown. Jesus. So these cards are all chaotic in the past. Jesus. Like King of Swords, Eight of Swords. That feels like Lindsey Graham blocking it from change with the Wheel of Fortune in the current position. Moving forward, I get deal making happening, but it's misfortune. So like the Eight of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and Ten of Swords. It's like there's a lot of deal making there, like balancing things and working hard, but I have a defeat moving forward. So it may not happen Monday, but I do get an ending that a deal being made. King of Wands, Ace of Wands, King of Cups. So since I'm getting chaos in the near future, I would expect maybe Wednesday a deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel long, but there's a lot of complications leading up to the deal.
Okay.
In the past, it was all devilish deal, but it's been worked through, obviously.
Will the Russians call in bomb threats on the day of the midterms? Probably. But if you want to avoid that chaos, vote early. Or vote by mail. That's even safer. You don't have to go anywhere.
Oh, yeah. I always vote early. If I can make it the first day I go in, there's like 2 people in front of me. I'm in and out in 15 minutes. I always go vote early.
I go vote early, and then in Dallas County, you can go in the next day, and it shows that you voted.
Yeah, you were talking about people coming to your door and talking if you voted or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned that before, but when in 2024, I voted early, and then my Nancy and her daughter voted early, but her mom wanted to wait till
Election day. I know.
Election day. They showed up. We see you 3 voted, but your mom hasn't voted yet. Is she gonna vote?
Mm-hmm.
And we always vote Democrat, so I think they knew, and so I'm like, yep, she's gonna vote on Election day. We got you.
Right.
Okay, we're making sure.
Yeah, you have the same experience I do. You were a poll worker for decades, and I will refute claims about voting systems being crooked. And I don't even know what state you live in. I've seen things happen in Texas. Now that we have paper trails, for a long time when you voted electronically in Texas, it just went in the machine. There was no little card printed out to make sure your vote went there where you wanted it to or anything. But now we have that. So we've joined this century.
Yeah, speaking of, Carrie says they vote by mail in Washington. So I had MAGA on Facebook, just unreal. And they were talking about Georgia. And they were talking about, there's 313,000 illegal votes, all by mail.
Mm-hmm.
Mail-in ballots it's full of fraud and, should be banned. So I'm like, there's 8 states that have all mail-in balloting. So you're trying to tell me all those states have illegal ballots. You guys are dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, they're so crazy.
Here's one. Was there a lot of drinking going on in D.C. this weekend? Are the rats scurrying?
I think they're all living in a bottle to drown their sorrows. Lindsey Graham was on Fox News crying about his $500,000 suit or whatever. He was drunk. You can tell he was gone.
Yeah, well, Lindsay needs to go collapse on his fainting couch and not come out for a while.
And then there was a comment I seen about when Marco Rubio was testifying last week. It appeared he took some kind of pill.
Ooh.
You could see him taking a little pill. So, and there was another interview where he looked like he was drugged or on coke or something. But he doesn't look like he's doing so well himself, taking something to stay focused or whatever. Starting to act just like Don Jr. sometimes.
Oh, God. Well, we know Don Jr.'s didn't come from a doctor, so.
Drinking. Trying to make things better.
Oh, I don't think they're happy. They're trying to find their way out. They got.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to find a new set of goals. Guess
The
what?
moon.
They're feeling unwanted. Five of Pentacles. And they
Oh.
realize they're starting to reap what they've sown. And they're not getting what they want. So,
Feels like the pill factory's back in the White House.
yeah.
So the moon and Seven of Cups together, and then
Mhm.
affecting your health and body with the Eight of Coins. That's saying pill popping, drugs, drinking, affecting your body. So those three together aren't good. There's some worried people.
The only Democrat that Delphi knows in Kansas is the governor. Well, I can tell you from when you analyze situations, he's winning in a statewide ballot. So it's clusters of people that think they can control one individual that are supporting that person, or it's really when you've got it, it's like the Carolinas where the governor's Democrat, and then all the people they send to Washington are Republicans. There's something wrong there.
Yeah, it's called gerrymandering.
And, oh, Scott, this is a Scott question because I know nothing about this crap.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Get off the topic and see if we can pick the right Super Bowl winner. I gotta remember who the heck is even in it. Seattle and New England.
Mm-hmm.
So let's toss some cards for the giggles and who's gonna win the Super Bowl?
Okay.
Seattle or New England?
You have to. I'll do two lines. I'll do Seattle and then I'll do New England. So it's a cross country.
I can't remember where it's at. I think it's in California. So it's not. One team's got to fly a long ways. So it's basically a home game for Seattle, I think. Of sense. Okay, Seattle or New England?
Oh dear. I got that neither of them wins. How can that happen? I don't think the universe has decided this one yet. If it was going to go anywhere, it's slightly towards Seattle right now. Has New England had a lot of changes on its team? As I see, there's a big tower.
Yeah, I think they've had some injuries, a little bit of chaos, but
And
New England.
I see infighting around New England, but I don't. Otherwise, none of the cards make any sense. Of course, I am talking about a subject that you may as well ask me if there are little green men on the other side of the moon.
Okay, my cards are favoring Seattle.
Okay.
I got the Knight of Swords, the Warriors, the Sun. I think more people are cheering for Seattle. The Magician. I think they got some tricks up their sleeve, and then the Chariot taking the victory. For New England, I get the World. They've been there, done that. Three of Swords, heartbreak. 10 of Cups, family. 4 of Swords is losing. Ace of Wands. Do they have power, whatnot? So I'm feeling Seattle by about 10 points. Like 9 points, 8 points, close most of the way, but ending about a 10-point victory, I think. Oh, the Super Bowl's in Dallas? Okay. I couldn't remember where it was.
Is it going to be in Dallas? That shows you how out of the loop I
I
am.
thought it was San Francisco, but whatever. I haven't really looked where it is, but
We're not
our universe is feeling Seattle.
Last time they had the Super Bowl in Dallas, we had a super snowstorm too.
Packers played there.
Yeah,
2012.
they brought their weather with them.
Oh, let's see. Let me check quick.
Go look, Scott, because I would hate to misdirect people.
Is the Super Bowl? I suppose someone else could find it too. Seattle, New England, and what? Jesus, tell me where. Well, that's nuts. Someone probably gonna. Oh no, it's at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California.
Okay, you were right the first time. Okay, now let's get to something that's not funny. Xi Jinping.
Oh yeah.
She's overthrew all those names I can't ever say. Zwang, whatever that is, the head of the military, the only general left with battlefield experience. Honey, I can barely say I don't know if Zhang, whoever is, is he still alive? Well, that's another question. So what a question do we want to take is, has he killed the generals he got rid of?
Ill health Xi Jinping is worried
Did he
about
get a sudden flush of COVID?
and he outed his top general.
Yep.
Lately, he's worried about his legacy or something. So, what happened to Zhang? What? God, it feels like a Navalny situation.
Oh, is he still alive? I got yes, but he's in a very dark and lonely place.
That's how I feel.
And he has no control over his own movements.
What's that card?
The Fool.
Oh.
He has no control over his own movements. And he's being re-educated somewhere. This is the Eight of Pentacles. And I've had people say, if you think someone's in prison, this is them making license plates. So
yeah, makes sense.
He's in a not insecure place, but it's not where he wants to be. So I don't think he's dead.
Yeah, there's the Moon, dark place, possible ill health with the 8 of coins. I get the death card. Page of coins, a new path, and then my 3 of coins feels like the soul contract kind of feeling. It kind of feels like he's in a dark cell, not in good health, possibly poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel good to me.
Is the Grammys on tonight? Somebody said they're not watching them. So I assume they think they're going to be on. So, okay. Europe and India created a new trade deal after the Davos debacle, bypassing the U.S. How much will this hurt America? I can't get my black jasmine tea, damn it.
It's multiple things got pulled out of the treasury Denmark and Sweden, they pulled money out of the treasury that they were holding their retirement funds or whatever in. It ain't good. The dollar is crushing.
Yeah, it's not a good time. Andrew is not a prince. He gave up all titles and all rights to royal family.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go read what their rules say, but
he's just Andrew of Betnamore or whatever.
Yeah, he's I can't remember. Mountbatten. Andrew Mountbatten.
He's excommunicado from the royalty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I seen in the Epstein files that his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, was communicating with Epstein.
Oh, yeah. She's as much a perv as Andrew.
And this was in like 2015.
There was a scandal. This is when the Queen said, yes, Andrew, you can divorce her. There was a tabloid that took pictures of Fergie on a yacht sucking some guy's toes on the deck of the ship. So just saying. Okay, guys, they're not going to be able to invalidate Biden's win. They just went in to get the stuff in Georgia to worry you. Do not give it another thought. Think of something aspirational and that you do want to happen.
Yeah, Biden won by more than 10 electoral votes, and it's just a distraction. It's just for the GOP and Pam Bondi to say, "Oh, look, nonsense."
And I don't think people are going to take over the machines. It's too hard to do it state by state, and that's what they'd love to do, and they can't do it. Oh, here. And we're going to need to quit in a few minutes because we're almost at an hour and a half. Gnome's future, does she leave with no consequences?
What's the future of Krusty Gnome? I'm getting the vision of her gone. I'm getting the vision of her gone.
Yeah, but what's the consequences to her? They want to know, is she going to pay for what she did?
Public service with a death card.
Whoa! Not looking good for Miss Christie.
Consequences. Well, I'm getting she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
The public service, death card. Losing rewards with the 8 of coins. Truth will come out. Her wheel of fortune will change. And then having a heartbreak, loss, being ill. The out cards ending show her like cooperating. Not like going to prison.
Right.
So I'm getting cooperation in the end of being honorable and not lying when it counts. So
see, there's consequences though. What you got? Are you done?
I mean, her consequences are going to be her soul.
Well, what I got is tower time. When it falls down around her, it's going to be quick and sudden, and she's going to get thrown out of the tower. She's going to try to figure out a way to use some power to get out of it, but she doesn't have any. She's the Queen of Cups upside down. People understand she's a liar. And her 2 out cards are very interesting. Knights always mean movements. And this is the knight that's the Knight of Cups, and he tells pretty tales, but he's a liar. And she's not going to be able to get anything going of consequence again. So whatever she's ever had, whatever role she's ever had of being in powership or a leader, she's got it. No one's going to trust her for the rest of her life. and she's never going to be able to put together any kind of.
Sounds good to me.
That's right.
So Debbie's saying the Seattle owner is not a Republican dumpster supporter, and New England's is. He was caught. Remember, Kraft was caught in the Chinese massage parlors in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who else was in the Epstein files?
Who?
The New York Giants owner.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And he said, yeah, they tried to set me up with some woman. He met her and they never got together again. And he doesn't know any more about it.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a young woman from Ukraine.
I don't believe you.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Do you think banks will be okay?
Seattle's got the good people on their side.
Yeah. Will the banks be okay? Do you want to do that?
Will we keep our money? Okay. Which banks? Okay. Is our money safe? Banks safe in the near term? Choices. One. Holding justice. Queen of Pentacles. I get yes.
Yeah, I got yes too, and I got really powerful yes cards.
The current energy is saying hold on to your money where it is.
Mm-hmm.
8 of Wands, 2 of Swords, 4 of Swords. So 4 of Swords is kind of like the 4 of Coins here in a situation too of like, you're stuck. You want to hold on to where you're at because we'll get over this. So I have the Queen of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, and Page of Pentacles. So money's going to feel okay. Victory. The Queen of Pentacles is money safe. The ending is 2 of Cups. So your partnerships, where you have your money, it'll be there. The Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Wands, along with the Devil. So the Devil is the thief card, right? That feels like there would be, like market fluctuations. The big wigs are going to take a little bit. But as far as banking, it doesn't feel like there's a theft or losing or anything. I think this talks about your investments. That's what I'm feeling. There may be a drop in your investments, retirement funds, but stay in for the long haul. I don't see us losing that part of it. If you have a ton, it'd be a good time to get in the government bonds. Pretty good return there.
Sweden got out.
That's just revenge. It's going to hurt us. But it's dumb to want to try to take over Denmark, so it's our own dang fault.
That's right. Okay, what I got is the Hangman reverse, which is, if you're going to move things around, look at it intelligently. But I see that it's the 6 of Coins is a good money card. The 7 of Coins is if you planted your money, leave it where it's planted. The Knight of Coins is that money's going to be kept safe by long-term planning because the Fed guy's not going anywhere, despite what Trump wants. And don't fall for the story of the Page of Wands. Wander over and invest with me. Don't do that. You're going to be okay. Somebody had just one more question, I promise, and then we'll let y'all go on with your day. Where to go? Okay. The daughter of an ice worker doxed her own father. If that's true, that's just not a Norman Rockwell picture.
Well,
Makes great Thanksgiving dinners, right?
yeah, good for her. Yeah, it's kind of like the guy or the son that turned his father in for January 6th.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a lot of people. They were really pissed when Trump let them go because a lot of them did that because they really believed those guys would be gone for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know a lot of you put in comments. I'm looking to see if something absolutely burns into my memory and we have to deal with it. And otherwise, Scott and I are going to, y'all are engaged in fun conversations with each other. And yeah, they're already charging the company that took apart the East Wing with problems because they know they didn't check the zoning records and whatever. Just think about it. Last time you did something in your house that wasn't zoned, if you live in an area that's stringent about that, all the hell you caught, you know?
Yep.
And yes, Jack Smith's testimony was important and it was good for people to hear. Now it's time for us to digest it. Somebody loves the bunny cards. Yay. Okay. Yeah, planets are falling on critical points. We're not astrologers, but that's true. And let's see, that's kind of it. I don't see anything else that. And if they're doxing these guys, fine. And I don't see anything else, Scott, that I think we absolutely have to answer.
Yep. Well, grab a card. What we need to know then.
Okay, it's a full moon. You want to do a reading, a single card draw, or whatever you want to read on about the full moon?
Well, I just grabbed 3 cards from.
Fine, that's good. Whatever.
What we need to know. So I get 3 swords. I use this deck.
Okay.
Doreen Virtues.
Doreen Virtue and Bradley Valentine's fairy deck.
So I get 3 swords here. 5 of winter. That's talking about walking away from dishonest associations, realizing the issues at hand, and your effort is not worth it. 8 of winter is 8 of swords. So you're stuck, you're hurting, you're unable to move forward, but we got to keep that self-confidence going, because then the 6 of winter, which is moving on to better times, positive changes are on their way.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think we got this already, that February is going to be difficult. There's going to be a lot of chaos. We got the files, we got this administration. So you got to break out of that and hang tough, because the positive things are coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Okay. We've got surrender comparisons to other people. And that's what today's full moon is actually about. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strength, your own attractiveness, and your own power. And don't worry about, and when you see something and the first thing that strikes your mind is they're just trying to distract me. Yeah, that's exactly right. You've learned well, little one, in what we've gone through in the last couple of years. And then in closing, it's a full moon today. And this is the full moon. Oh, it's the wrong full moon. Well, it's a January full moon, but the full moon today is supposed to be the one I thought I pulled up was a picture of a person walking across this thin little bridge from one place to the other. And it's to surrender and not get tied up in other people's stuff, head forward into our own dreams. And that's what the snow moon in February means. And that's where we are. And that's an oopsie that I did because I was trying to do it at the very end of just before we came on air. So anyway, we'll let Scott go back to having his lovely Sunday with his family.
Heat wave tomorrow in New York, 33 degrees.
It's going to be 54 today in the afternoon. I'm going to walk outside and say, sunshine, walk down my sidewalks, make sure it's still all there. Oh, and also tomorrow morning at 12 o'clock, well, it's not tomorrow morning, really. It's tomorrow morning where she is. I am going to be doing a psychic profile on a woman that runs a thing called the Last Mask Center, and it's in the Northwest, and she's a shaman, and she teaches shaman and shaman techniques and how to be a shaman, and she discusses what it means. The last mask means letting go of your last mask, and that's great. And then there's one lady out there, and I don't know if I got her from this group or where, but I only have one person left who I have, she bought a 12-month reading in December, and either she forgot it or something happened. I've sent her 3 emails asking her, please tell me where you are so we can set up your 12-month reading. She hasn't done so yet. And her name is Cynthia Christner. So Cynthia C., if you're out there, please email me at crystaldirections.nancyjean@gmail.com so I can get your thing. Because if I do that, then I have everybody off my books that I owe readings to. Finishing one this afternoon. Be safe, everybody. Take care. If it's still cold where you are, it's cold and snowing in South Carolina, I understand. So everyone be safe, be happy, and we will see you next week.